Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Bilbo and the Piano, featuring Colton and Drewby Doo.
Drewby Doo!
Drewby Doo, where are you?
I really do like that nickname. It's so much better than Drucifer.
What? Who calls you Drucifer?
Like one or two people in high school. And, you know, it's pretty badass when you think about it, but Drewby Doo just has that adorable charm to it that I prefer.
Yeah, and then I can yell out, Drewby Doo! Pretend to be Shaggy.
That. Back when you lived here, you did that across campus a couple times, if I recall correctly.
Yes I did.
I'd be walking across the quad and hear, Drewby Doo, where are you? And you're like a quarter mile that way.
I'm always one for public embarrassment.
No, I thought it was funny.
Oh, of course. Alright, so. Yeah. And also, Drewboo.
Yeah, that was what I was blocking out mentally. I knew there was another one that I hated. And I honestly couldn't think of it just because I
And then Logan apparently changed it to King Boo.
That was Logan in conjunction with a friend of ours named Joel in high school. King Boo I was okay with as well.
Yeah.
But nothing will beat Drewby Dooby Doo.
Drewby Doo!
Actually, I don't know if it would be like the full version would be Drewby Dooby Doo or just Drewby Doo, kind of like Snoop Dogg could also be Snoop Doggy Dogg, but no one ever calls him that.
No, because they never call Scooby-Doo Scooby-Dooby Doo. That's just Scooby-Dooby Doo, where are you? That's just part of the song.
That's true.
But
it's true. Like Shaggy never called him that.
Yeah, no.
Right.
And if we go down to the bare bones of it, the alternate version of Drewby Doo would be Drewbert Doo.
That's way worse. That is significantly worse.
Why? Why is that worse? That's Scooby's actual name is Scoobert.
His name is Scoobert. That's right. I forgot that. I don't know, but Drewbert just sounds like
I want to say it's Scoobert Melvin Doo. I think it was.
Drewbert sounds like a stereotypical nerd from an 80s high school movie. Like a guy with big, thick glasses that works in a lab all day and has no friends and talks like this.
And his mother would be like, "Oh, Drewbert."
Yeah, like the stereotypical 80s nerd in a movie like The Breakfast Club or something, I don't know.
No, The Breakfast Club would give you a much cooler name than that. No. There wasn't really a stereotypical nerd in
For some reason, that
Club.
was just the first high school movie I could think of.
Revenge of the Nerds.
It wasn't quite the best example, given what we were talking about.
I think Revenge of the Nerds would be the example you're thinking of.
Okay.
If you're thinking of 80s movies with nerds, Revenge of the Nerds.
Okay.
Alright, so my gosh, I feel like I'm out of practice, but not, and this is gonna be a two for one deal, because this is gonna be released in conjunction with our official first episode. So, but on to some things I want to talk about today. That I was talking with my mom about this the other day, and we both kind of agree on we are horrible at public speaking. Like, we freeze up. I freeze up so bad. Oh man, I can remember in high school, very first time I got in front of a crowd to kind of like do a speech. This was 10th grade in high school in English class. I was supposed to give a speech or presentation or whatever, and I froze up so bad I shook and I started crying.
See, that's incredibly surprising to me because you're typically an outgoing person. You're not really scared to meet new people or speak with people in a group setting like at conventions. When we meet entire groups of new people, like when we went to Akon and we went to that party in that suite, there were all those people that we had no idea who they were. We had never met them, and you would just blend right in, talk to them. But is it just the fact that you're like standing in front of a whole bunch of people and they're all focused on you? Is that the difference?
Two things. Number one, I am only good in a social setting when I'm around people that I know how to converse with. Like,
and Akon would count, yeah, because you have something in common with everyone there just by default.
Yeah. However, you tell me to go to a bar and pick up a chick there,
A little bit different, sure.
Yeah, I would go in a bar and you'd be like, hey, go try and pick up that chick. I would go and sit by that chick, sit there for like 5 minutes wondering how to actually say hello without sounding weird, awkward, and creepy.
Although, to be fair, both that scenario and just, doing like a public speaking class in high school or college, those are both, common sources of fear for people, and a lot of people aren't very good at it, right? So, I mean, you should at least take solace in that. I think, you always hear public speaking is the number one most common fear, like even above death.
Yeah.
People are more scared of public speaking than they are of dying. And for me personally, every time I've ever had to do a speech for class, whether in high school or college, I get really, really nervous right before. Like 10, 15 minutes before I know I have to get up there and do a speech, I get super nervous. I don't shake, but my heart beats real fast and I start overthinking it. And then when I get up there and start talking, the first 30 seconds or so are always rough. But after like a minute of talking, I really ease into it and I get comfortable. So it's just getting over that initial hump of, opening my mouth and beginning to speak.
Yeah.
Once I start, I'm good. And I've always reminded myself of that. When I have to give a presentation thinking it's going to go bad, I'm like, yeah, it's going to suck for like the first minute. And then I'll get into it.
Yeah, and like I could probably do public speaking if it was on a topic that I felt strongly about, something that I knew a lot about, and something that I could wing. Because a lot of the things that I have fears about with public speaking is that when I get up there, everything just disappears in my brain. Like, for stuff I prepared. If I have to prepare myself for any kind of public speaking, yeah, no, my mind goes completely blank, and then I freeze up, and then I'm screwed.
So are you saying you're better, like, impromptu?
I'm better...
Not impromptu. What's the word?
Improv.
Improv, yeah.
Yes, I'm better improvising on a topic I already know about.
Granted, that's what we do here when we do these podcasts. But if I was gonna be talking again in a classroom setting, I rehearse that shit front to back multiple times for hours. If it's a 15-minute presentation, I'll spend like 4 or 5 hours just going over it. However many times 15 goes into 5 hours.
Yeah. No, I have no problems speaking. I have no problems carrying on a conversation. I have no problems carrying on a topic. I ran a radio show for 3 years, for crying out loud, and
that's true.
Did pretty well, I guess, for the most part.
Yeah, I thought so. I listened to most of your shows.
Like, we had like 10 listeners in the Ruston area and like 50 in Singapore.
And you have no idea why.
So
or maybe you do. I don't know.
Yeah, so somehow KLPI got picked up by some Singapore pirating station or whatever. So we would have listeners in the Ruston area and then Singapore. I don't know how. I don't know how it happened, or yeah, there's something weird that went on, but yeah.
Did you ever give them a shout out? Like,
I think we did a few times.
Singapore brothers that are listening for some unbeknownst reason.
Yeah, we discussed it a few times and brought it up.
That's bizarre.
Yeah. So, segueing.
Well, speaking of public speaking, though, I heard this from a couple people. I don't know how true it is, but Louisiana Tech, where I go to school, is everyone has to take that public speaking class, regardless of your major.
Yep, I did.
Regardless of what you're taking, you have to take public speaking. But they used to do it so that you could, like, put it off until your senior year if you so desire. Like, they gave you more freedom as far as when you take it. But now, from what I've heard, from what a couple people have told me, they're specifically trying to make freshmen take it their freshman year because incoming freshmen now have less experience speaking face-to-face with their peers because this is a generation that grew up completely immersed in smartphones and tablets. And this is just what I've heard, man. I don't know how true it is, but when you think about it...
I believe it.
I believe it's believable,
I
right?
believe it, because, like...
Totally believable.
Oh my gosh, you go to, like Starbucks or some other hangout place where teenagers congregate, and you'll see, you know, this group of teenagers hanging out, but they're not really hanging out. They're just all sitting there looking at their phones.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, granted, we do that too sometimes, but it's usually in like, 20-second short bursts, and then we put it up and talk again, Well, they have it out the whole time.
The only reason I have my phone out whenever I'm hanging out with y'all, or with anyone, is to look up information to prove myself right.
That's actually sadly pretty true. So yeah, I feel like that's a legitimate point. But
it's an asshole thing to be or to do, I guess.
Well, at this point, we're pretty much used to it, so we give you a pass, and I know that's what you do. It's all good. But when you think about it, though, like, they don't want these kids to go through 4 years of college without knowing how to talk to each other.
I understand that, and that's absolutely hilarious to me.
I think it's more not disturbing, but just generally concerning.
It's sad, funny. Is what it is.
It's sad, yeah. I mean, it's in the fact that they feel like it's necessary to get that done immediately to kind of get them over that hump of, this is how we get up, this is how we present ourselves professionally and speak.
And and it'd be even worse for those kids who haven't had a job yet.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because, I mean, the only jobs you can get whenever you're like 16 or 17 are customer service jobs where
retail and fast food,
yeah, where you're talking to people, and if you're some kid who just never happened to have a job, then there's some valuable skills you can learn starting when you get a job at 16.
Skills that you can't be taught, you just have to learn them.
Yeah, like whenever I worked for Bath and Body Works, that's how I was taught how to talk to people. Because my very first job was Little Caesars. And I worked in the back cooking pizzas. I never worked the register. I don't know why they never wanted me to work the register. Probably, well, actually, looking back, I can see why. Because, know my personality now and how much of an asshole I can be without being provoked.
Yes.
Multiply that by 100 when I was 16.
You were just a little shit, weren't you?
Yes. I was a sarcastic little shit that was hated by everybody.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny and sad and kind of sucks and whatever.
It's all right. You've moved past it. You've become a better person for it.
Yes, I've become a better asshole. I've become a lovable asshole.
It's pretty, yeah. A big fluffy asshole.
Yeah, but thanks,
Mr. Fluffy. There you go.
Yes, that is my namesake and the name of my stuffed bunny. But whatever. Yes, I have a stuffed bunny.
It's okay.
His name is Mr. Fluffy Bunnykins. I've had him for like 18 years now.
I can't make fun of that because the entire time we've been talking, I've been playing with this little miniature Mr. Lotso stuffed animal from Toy Story 3. He's primarily used as a laptop screen cleaner. Like, that's his intended purpose.
Yeah.
It's actually a laptop screen cleaner, but I've been like squeezing them.
Did Sam get that for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did.
Do you ever wear your Toy Story hat?
No, it was a Hufflepuff hat.
Or a Hufflepuff hat? Do you ever wear that?
Yeah. No.
You don't wear hats in general.
I don't. I'm not a hat person.
No. You look good in a hat, though. That's your picture in my phone is still of that hat, of that Akon where we met Sam, where you were like half drunk when we were downstairs.
I was wearing a hat?
Yeah, you were wearing my one of my hats.
Oh,
you put one of my hats on.
One of your what do you call them? That gray hat that's got the flat brim top.
Yeah.
It's called. I don't know what it's called, but
it was like a flat bill, kind
of. Yeah, like what you'd see on like an old school.
Like no, not that one.
Not that one.
Not the cabbie hat. Not the
cabbie hat. The cabbie hat is what I was thinking of. Yes.
No, it was my other gray hat, my Quicksilver hat, the one with my little anime pen on it.
Yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
I think I was just wearing that ironically because it was funny.
I don't even know, but I just remember you were half drunk. So.
Probably.
But no.
Only half.
So, Drew, I have a proposal for you. More so of a question of ability.
A modest proposal.
Yeah.
Gonna go eat some children.
Kind of, sort of.
Okay.
In essence, so we both watch a lot of stand-up comedy.
Yes.
And I was watching. You ever watch Top Gear?
I'm very aware of it. You've shown me many clips from it, and I've seen clips from it on Reddit quite a bit. Because Reddit loves that show.
Yes, Reddit absolutely loves Top Gear. Anyways, the short guy of the trio, his name is Richard Hammond, and I've been watching Amazon Prime, and he was on a show that was him going to the U.S. and doing a bunch of jobs that are known in the U.S. And one of them was him trying to be a stand-up comedian. Mm-hmm. And so I was wondering, Drew, could you ever be a stand-up comedian?
I don't think so. Because, I mean, if I'm funny at all, I think I'm funny by accident.
I feel the same exact way.
You know what I mean? Like, I could not make myself be funny on purpose if I tried. I think it would just... I don't know. I've never attempted it, but I feel like it would not work out.
Yeah, well, like, there's a bunch of different kinds of comics, and like the kinds that I really enjoy and the kinds that I gel with are storytelling comics. Like Bert Kreischer or Christopher
Louis
Titus.
Louis C.K. does that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Louis C.K. is kind of a storytelling comic, but he also does small bits.
He does both. He does both, but he does do the storytelling thing.
Yeah, he does short stories, but like I could tell a story on stage. I could tell a funny story on stage, but I couldn't do jokes
like Mitch Hedberg style or.
Yeah, well, Mitch Hedberg's style is the one-liners,
straight one-liner,
and that is a very, very hard style to make consistently funny. But
because it's disconnected and so much of it is like hit and miss.
Yeah. So, and a lot of Mitch Hedberg was that the reason why his one-liners were so funny is that, number one, it took you a second to actually get some of those. Like you had to think about it from a stoner's perspective.
Yeah.
Number two was his stage presence. His stage presence lent to his being funny and how he talked.
Because he had stage fright. Like he didn't like public speaking either.
Yeah.
He had his hair, like his bangs, super long so that he didn't have to look at the audience.
Yeah, there are three things about Mitch Hedberg that deal with his fear of public speaking. Number one, when he first started stand-up comedy, he actually faced his back to the audience. Mm-hmm. He would face the back wall. He would not turn around and look at the audience at all. Number two was his bangs. Like he kept his hair long and in front of his face, so he wouldn't have to look at the audience, and also looking down with that. And number three were his tinted sunglasses, or tinted glasses rather, that he would always wear. But I think that was more of like hiding the fact that he was high like 24/7.
Probably.
But
although anybody going to see Mitch Hedberg would either expect it or not care.
Yeah. But
still, he felt the need to do it.
Yeah, but the thing about Mitch Hedberg is that I don't have to look at him to, laugh. I love just going back and listening to his old albums. They're still absolutely hilarious because his delivery is just perfect. And
Mitch Hedberg's?
Yeah,
it is.
And there are other one-liners nowadays, like Dimitri Martin.
Who was the one you showed me that shared my laugh? What's his name?
Oh, Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
Wait, no, Jimmy Carr.
Jimmy Carr, yeah.
Not
Jimmy
Carson.
Going
back a little too far in the
that does not sound right.
in the stand-up world, which I don't know if Johnny Carson actually ever did stand-up. He was the late night. He was one of those late night talk hosts, I believe. Golly, I'm just speaking out my ass right now.
No, that sounds right. It sounds right. I believe it. Let's go with that, even if it's wrong.
All right, whatever. But yeah, Jimmy Carr. Jimmy Carr is also a one-liner, but he does it right because of his deliveries. But Dimitri Martin doesn't do it right because his deliveries are just so dry and like everything just sounds so repetitive.
And he bases his act on that little easel where he draws a picture or something, right?
Yeah, and he's a purely visual comic, and so. And a lot of stand-up I listen to, I just listen to it. I don't
Right.
watch it. Like when I put on Bill Burr's specials, I'm not
Yeah.
watching it. I'm just sitting there listening to it.
That's what I do when I'm driving back from Dallas or Houston and Grady and Evan are both asleep. I just turn on stand up on Spotify. So yeah, it wouldn't work if I was trying to listen to Demetri Martin
Yeah.
for that reason.
Yeah, but speaking of Bill Burr, he needs to release another special soon or something.
He should release like a new special every month or something.
I still really want to see him live.
I would love it.
He came to Dallas a few years back, but I never got the chance to go see him. And I really want to see him live. Him, Louis C.K. I've never seen stand-up live.
I've never seen a single stand-up live either. I was just about to say, I thought you had.
Yeah, no. I had the chance to, old rapey comic. Old black rapey comic.
Bill Cosby?
Yeah, Bill Cosby. There we go.
I love how that's his description now.
Hey!
That's how we refer to Bill Cosby at this point in time.
Yeah! I mean...
That's so sad, man.
It's
so
depressing
sad.
because, you know, Mr. Huxtable or Dr. Huxtable and all that jazz and, you know, the Bill Cosby show.
Wasn't he a
The Cosby
gynecologist, like, in his character? In the Cosby Show, his character was a gynecologist, wasn't he? I'm not making that up, am I?
I don't know. Google it.
I feel like that's got... maybe I'm just making that up because it would add a level of comedy to the whole situation.
Yeah, but anyways, Bill Cosby actually came through Longview a few years back while I was still in college and going back and forth, and I decided not to see him because I didn't know if Bill Cosby stand-up comedy would be funny, and this was before the whole rape thing. But according to like Joe Rogan and Bill Burr and all of them, that Bill Cosby is like a god of stand-up comedy.
I mean, yeah, that's how he got his start before the show, right?
Yeah, but the reason he's such a god is that, like, I don't know, like, he doesn't really rehearse his stuff. Like, he goes in it blind.
Wait, he's an OBGYN. He delivered babies.
Yeah.
So I was close.
Yeah, kind of.
More or less.
Still deals with that region.
Yeah, exactly. I knew I was somewhere along those lines. Anyway.
Just from a different viewpoint.
Yeah.
I
Right.
guess you could say that. Anyways, but yeah. So I had a chance to see Bill Cosby as well, but never did that. So we're gonna have to see some stand up. At some
tried
point.
to get
and they come through
Logan.
Dallas every now and then.
I tried to get Logan to go see Jim Gaffigan. He played in like Shreveport and he didn't want to.
Oh man, I would love to see Jim Gaffigan. Did
I would
you see
love to
that
see Jim
AMA?
I did. He had some really good answers actually.
Yeah, I love the way he types because he types like he talks. I love it.
He really does. He really does. And like each answer was well thought out, paragraph or two. It wasn't just a single line answer that doesn't really, answer anything. It was I feel like he cares a lot about what he does.
Yeah, he seems like a genuinely cool guy.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to meet him because he was saying something about, people in public would, that would see him in public would always yell like Hot Pockets to him and all that, and he didn't really get offended or get irritated at it. He was just like, it's just another thing.
That's what he's known for. And I was just about to say it'd be fun to like go to Cinnabon and just stuff your face with Jim Gaffigan. Like, I feel like that's a story you tell people. Like, yeah, I ate at Cinnabon with Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah, that would be fun, but
it makes the story that much more impressive.
When I think of Cinnabon, I think of Louis C.K.
They both. Well, wait. What? I guess.
Do you know which?
They both had Cinnabon bits in their stand-up. They both talked about it.
Do you remember Louis C.K.'s Cinnabon one?
I don't. I remember one of theirs, and I don't know which one was which. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Louis C.K.'s being the cum drizzle one.
Oh no!
The
okay,
icing.
Yeah, of course that makes sense. His was a lot more grotesque.
Well, of course.
Like Jim Gaffigan's was just like, I'm in the airport and everyone in the Cinnabon line isn't excited that they're going to eat a Cinnabon. They're just sitting there like, oh shit, I'm about to eat a Cinnabon.
No, that's Louis C.K.
That's Louis C.K. too?
Yeah, that's Louis C.K.'s bit.
Okay, well, Jim Gaffigan I think also mentioned it at some point. Maybe not, I don't know.
Yeah, because Jim Gaffigan doesn't cuss.
Yeah.
Jim Gaffigan has a clean comic.
You're right. Okay.
And yeah, that was a Louis C.K. bit, that one you were talking about.
Okay.
But
I've never had Cinnabon though.
I have, and Louis C.K.'s description of it is spot on.
Yeah, I feel like if
I
was
hate
in
myself after I eat Cinnabon.
I feel like if I was in an airport and I saw one, I would stop mid-stride, look over, briefly consider it, decide I was gonna get it some, take like 5 steps, and then say, "No, never mind," and then walk away. Like I feel like that's exactly my thought process if I was confronted with a Cinnabon. I would start walking towards it and then stop halfway through and decide I'm better than this.
Yeah, and I wouldn't get airport food based off principle. Because it's so expensive.
That seems fair enough.
It's so expensive.
Well, hey, we got some Free Press Summerfest, this music festival me and my friend Grady went to recently. They had a whole bunch of food trucks. I had the best boudin I've ever had in my entire life at one of those food trucks at this festival.
That's because you live in North Louisiana. You can't get good boudin up there.
Oh, maybe so. But it was so good. It was so good. And I wasn't expecting it to be worth it because it was like $9 and these are food trucks at a dirty, disgusting music festival. And you're like, this is going to be just awful. And it was just fantastic.
Well, I will tell you, you probably had some really good boudin because Houston is Gulf Coast and Cajun. Well,
Grady
part of it is Cajun. It kind of like feeds off of the Beaumont area, which is Cajun country in Texas.
So the cultural influence made it better, or like fused itself. I don't know. But Grady was like, "Hey, can I just have a taste of that?" And I'm like, "Hell no!" Like I didn't just say no. I'm like, "No, absolutely not!" Like I covered my whole body over it, and I'm like, "Mm."
Yeah, when you find good boudin, it's good. Until you know exactly what's in it, and then you kind of question it, but still accept it and then go through with it.
They could have put anything in this to make it taste the way it does. I don't care.
Well, you know what boudin is made with, right?
Like the remains of meat.
And
rice.
It's rice, the intestines, and blood.
I'm okay with that. I'm seriously okay with that. Like.
It's like a Cajun blood sausage. It's like honestly, the Cajun version of black pudding, except not as much blood.
That honestly doesn't gross me out, man.
No,
it
doesn't.
Like,
it did when I was young, because I grew up Cajun.
I don't mind a little.
So
I don't mind a little blood in my meat. It's all good. I mean, I don't prefer it, but if it's there, I'm not gonna bitch about it. You know, I'll still eat it.
Hey, bloody meat's still great.
It's
like
fine,
a medium
man.
rare steak. Oh yeah.
It's all right. I'm not gonna complain. Yeah. And you know, like hot dogs are nothing but leftover meats. So
yeah, I'm not a big fan of hot dogs though.
I don't see how that's any different. I guess is the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, I don't like hot dogs. I grew out of that after like the amount of boiled hot dogs I had as a child.
Cut up into macaroni and cheese and stuff.
No, I never did that.
You never did that?
Man, I was a macaroni and cheese purist.
Oh, of course you were.
Nothing went in.
If I was gonna think anybody was a macaroni and cheese purist, I would probably think you.
Yeah, there's a lot of my childhood that leads to that, and there's I've changed a lot of those ways, but some of it still remains with certain foods. But you know how you like to eat your food in order.
Predetermined order. That's important.
And you don't mix your foods.
I don't always not mix my foods. By default, I don't, but sometimes I might. It's not a hard and fast rule. But
every time we've gone out somewhere and there's multiple things on your plate, you eat it one at a time.
Yeah, I do that.
So, yeah. No, rather than I take bits and bites from every spot. But when I was a child, I didn't like any of my food touching. I was a huge germaphobe, crazy things like that. I hated the grass and dirt touching my feet.
Oh yeah.
There's some really, really old pictures of me when I was 2 or 3 years old, 2, 3, 4, that I was wearing cowboy boots and shorts because I didn't like the grass touching my feet.
I'm gonna have to see those pictures now that you mentioned it. You cannot just say that and not track those down, because I need to see 3-year-old Colton in shorts and cowboy boots.
And a cowboy hat.
And a cowboy hat. My life is not complete without seeing those pictures. So make that your weekend project.
I have them somewhere. I have a few of those. I don't know if I have that one specifically. I can always call my mom and ask her.
Yeah, I need to see that. You need to post that on Facebook for everyone to enjoy.
Yeah, all three people that look at my Facebook.
Consider that a public service.
Yeah. Oh, Drew, by the way,
yes.
I need you to start doing this for me.
What's that?
Whenever I post something on Facebook and nobody likes it, like nobody hits the like button, I need you to go like it.
You want me to be your pity like?
Yes, so I don't feel like such a worthless piece of trash.
You shouldn't measure your self-worth by Facebook likes.
I'm never on Facebook, but I do post something from time to time. And, I look at your post and you always have like 10, 15 likes, blah, blah, blah. And then I post something and it's like one person maybe likes it.
It's usually Rhett for some reason.
Yeah, it's either Rhett or Roxanne.
Yeah.
Like, I posted about the Google Fiber thing today and Roxanne liked it.
But that's such a specific thing that, I mean, believe it or not, a lot of people don't care about very much.
What?
Even though they should.
Google Fiber?
Even though they should.
Oh my gosh,
a lot of people don't, either don't know what that means, like the implications of it, or they just don't care.
Google Fiber coming to the Dallas area is a huge deal.
I'm aware of that, but a lot of people aren't.
Like, gigabit internet for less than what I pay for my 300 megabit internet right now? Yeah, because I pay like $90 a month for my internet. And like Google's gigabit's gonna be like $70 a month or something like that.
Yep.
So I'm excited about that, but I mean it probably won't be here till the next like 4 years or whatever. But I'll still be here, so whatever. Maybe.
It's still a good sign. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good sign that Google is growing a lot more, which is weird to me that they decided not to do Dallas as one of their first ones, because they used to have a server hub out here in the Dallas area, but they closed it down something like 8 or 9 years ago, because my cousin worked for Google and this is where he started, was in the Dallas area. I think it was over in Addison, and they closed it down and moved him out to LA or San Francisco or wherever the main Google hub is. Actually, they moved him to Atlanta first, and then out to California. But yeah, I would love to work for Google.
I mean, I can't imagine any downside to it.
There is
still growing, still like entering new markets, still finding ways to make $1 bajillion a year.
Yeah, except I think they're growing too fast. Because a lot of the
bubble.
Huh?
They're gonna pop their bubble.
Well, it's not that. They've already kind of popped their bubble, because they've grown so fast that a lot of the companies they've taken under their wing have kind of just fallen apart a bit. AKA YouTube. YouTube and their drama going on right now, because nobody is really maintaining YouTube. Like, it's all automated now, and the automation sucks.
The copyright notifications and all that.
Yeah, that's why I fear uploading anything to YouTube. So
you saw the whole Family Guy thing.
What? No, I didn't see anything. I've been paying more attention to Ethan. What is it? E3 or something like that, or H3. There it is. H3. You know, Fake Nation.
Yeah, and that's a YouTuber, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea what he does, but
it's not a YouTuber. He's kind of part of a collective, kind of sorta. Like, you remember that Filthy Frank video I showed you? Pink Man, the fried rice video, that rap video that you were like, maybe because I'm tired and bitter.
That could describe like 5 billion songs you showed me in the past year and a half.
That's very true. Anyways, yeah, what are you talking about with the Family Guy stuff?
Oh, so what they did, they like took footage of some old like Atari game, like some old sports game. They took it like off of YouTube, then they used it in a Family Guy clip, and then that Family Guy clip, based on it being in Family Guy, they sent a copyright notice to the video that they used in the episode and took it down because it was copyrighted to Family Guy.
Oh my gosh, that's happened a few times actually, more than once.
Yeah,
That's,
but
that's
like
actually something very common that's been happening.
right. That's the most recent example that had everyone up in arms and mad about it. But so.
See,
Yeah.
YouTube.
But that was all like again automated, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
It was like an automated program that caught it, and people are saying, this is a really good example of why they need to look at the programs that they're using to do this and figure out a way to make them a little bit more artificially intelligent, I guess.
Yeah, I'd rather that they did the, you could do the copyright claim and then a real person actually goes and investigates it.
Yeah, but they'd have to pay a real person.
Yeah.
They're a corporation. They're all about making money, cutting costs at every possible corner.
Which is once again why I'm saying that Google is growing a little too quickly.
Yep, we've gone full circle back to what you were saying.
Because they're
right.
not keeping up with the projects. Like, whatever happened to Google Plus?
They promoted the hell out of it, and no one cared.
Yeah, well, they just never kept up with it. Plus, they were trying to battle the established Facebook.
I feel like if Google Plus had waited like another year or so, like if it launched today, I still don't think it would be successful, but I think it wouldn't have fallen as quickly as it did.
See, they should have waited for another Facebook security scandal and then come out with Google Plus.
Because Facebook was like at the absolute height of its popularity when Google Plus came out. Like it was just bad timing on their part to try to enter the market and push Facebook aside because it just wasn't feasible.
Yeah.
It really wasn't.
If they had released Google Plus like 4 years before that, when Facebook was still up and coming and MySpace was still around, and Zynga and all those other social network websites. I don't think you're old enough to remember Zynga.
No, I remember it, but I didn't use it. Yeah. I did use MySpace. I had a MySpace. It was
I had a Zynga, I had a MySpace, and then I had a Facebook.
So my MySpace was let's talk about how cringy our MySpaces were.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so my MySpace had a big Cannibal Corpse background because that was back when I was first got into death metal. So I'm like an 8th grader, right? Like 13 years old with a big Cannibal Corpse background. Like my cursor was like a skeleton hand dripping blood or something like that. And all of my text was like bright red, and when you could pick a song to autoplay. Yeah. And I think I had like Slipknot's "People Equal Shit" or something. Like it was the stereotypical 8th grade Hot Topic kid. That was my MySpace.
That's wonderful, man. I can't even remember too much of my MySpace, because I got rid of my MySpace in 2007, 2008, right when I got into college.
You got out of it quick, because I had mine until 2009.
Well, I had it since probably 2004, or something like that. About 2003 or 2004 was when I got MySpace, because I quit Zynga probably about when I was 13 or 14.
Yeah, I thought Zynga was like a way to share your writing. Is that not what it was?
Zynga, kind of yes, but kind of no. Think of Zynga was like the precursor to LiveJournal. Or a blog spot.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. That's along the same lines as what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it was used like a MySpace or things like that. That's how we, the preteens and early teenagers, used it. That's how we, the middle schoolers and junior high, used it. Because we had songs and stuff. That I had Flogging Molly and Dropkick Murphys playing on it and stuff. But my MySpace, I didn't really do anything too crazy with my MySpace. It was all a lot of pop punk stuff.
Do you remember all the, this never affected me personally because I didn't care and my friends didn't care, but you could decide who was in your top 8. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And it was top eight drama all the time. Why didn't you put me in your top 8? Does that mean we're not friends? And it caused all these issues. I remember. And then they expanded it to top 16 or something.
I got out before that top 16, but yeah, no, top 8 was a hot topic. That was a thing.
Serious shit.
Especially being in your number 1.
Oh man. dude.
Why am I not your number one or number two or number
I
three?
can't even remember how I decided who got to be in the venerable position of my top 8. I probably just had like Logan and Raymond and just some other random people I can't remember. But luckily that drama never hit me. But I would hear people like in the halls talking about it. Like, you heard this person took this person off their top 8. What does that mean? You know, like it actually made a difference.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad, but you know, like
I may be exaggerating for comedic effect a little bit, but it actually was a thing.
yeah, it was a thing. It was definitely a thing to be in someone's top 8.
Man.
Gosh, that just takes me back to terrible times in high school, though.
Back before you were the confident man you are today.
Yeah, actually.
No, I mean, I'm the same way.
It was.
We were all cringy back then.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, Drew, you didn't even gain your confidence until, you know, after your first couple years in college.
I'd say after my first year, I started getting better.
When you met me.
Pretty much. You and Grady both.
Yeah. Me and Grady just helping to take you out of your comfort zone. But there was a reason, like, I latched onto that, you know, helping you to get out of your comfort area like that. Was because I was there. I just got out of it a little earlier than you did.
Yeah. College helped. I mean, college helps a lot of people for that. I mean, when you're in high school, you're not really required to step outside of that. And in college, you kind of have to. So it all worked out.
Yeah, like I didn't step out of my comfort zone until I was probably a junior in high school. Because that's when I actually got friends, like real friends. Like, like not, you know, people I kind of talked to and considered my friends, but they didn't really consider me their friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like, I didn't have real friends until probably my junior year in high school, which sounds kind of depressing.
I had, like, 4 or 5 close friends throughout the entirety of all 4 years of high school, and I talked to nobody else, for the most part.
Like, I made my first real friend...
talk to people during class, but outside of class is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I made my first real friend my freshman year of high school, and you know him.
I do?
Yeah, his name is Robert.
Robert, yeah, Robert.
Yes. Robert was my first real friend in high school, like at my high school. My other first real friend, which actually preceded Robert, which you know, he already knows about and is okay with, is my friend Haley.
Yeah, I was about to say I know Haley. I mean, I don't know Haley, but you told me about her.
Yeah, you've heard plenty about her, but
right,
like she is my like really first like good friend.
Right.
You know, someone I would talk to, you know, a lot. You know, call on the phone, you know, go hang out, things like that. And she didn't even go to the same school as me, so that was another thing that like made it. Hey, you know, this is a real friend, someone who wants to. This is a real
friendship because it's not somebody you're just talking to in the halls and stuff.
Yeah, somebody who wants to talk to me.
Right.
So that's a weird thing. This is weird because like I think about this from time to time. Is like, you know, if you were offered to go back in time, would you? Like, say to when you were 14.
I've got no regrets, honestly. So no, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I have no regrets either.
Here's the thing:
really.
I did not dislike high school. I actually, for the most part, I didn't love high school, but I enjoyed it. It wasn't bad. It was a good experience. I don't really have any regrets. It was cool.
Nah, mine wasn't a great experience.
I wouldn't want to do it again, but you know, it's all good. I made a couple good friends in high school that have maintained.
Yeah, but
into college, so it's all good.
All right, like, but what would happen if you were forced to go back to when you were 14, but you retain all the knowledge and wisdom that you have now?
I don't know, man.
Would you be like king of the high school?
Probably not. I really think I would just be slightly more outgoing than I was. Like it would be a small difference. A difference would exist.
Just like the next day, people were like, "Wow, Drew, you've changed," and that was it.
Yeah, like, wow, Drew, you've slightly altered your personality a little bit. And everyone goes along with their day. That's probably what would happen.
Yeah. No, there would be a lot of different things. I would probably have gotten in a lot more. I would probably get in a lot more fights if I went back with the knowledge that I have now. I would probably be I would probably have gotten in like juvie or something.
You wouldn't quite be the pacifist you are now.
No. because there were a lot of people that pissed me off in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was made fun of a lot, like
Mm-hmm.
a lot, like daily.
Yeah.
So I would have probably ended up lashing out.
Mm. Well, luckily we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, no. That's why I would never go back to high school ever again.
Never
I
again.
wouldn't, like, if I were offered the opportunity, no. Like,
There'd
even
be-
with all
there'd
the
be no
trials and
need for it.
tribulations that I've gone through, they've kind of formed me.
That's what I was
they've
saying earlier.
defined who I am, and I like who I am.
You've become a better person for those trials and tribulations.
Yeah, I still have a few quirks, but I like who I am. I like what I've become. I like where I've become in my life. So,
Yep.
and that's all that really matters. Is it's, to me,
Life
happiness
is about looking back.
yeah. Well, like, to me, like, true happiness is not, being successful or whatever. It's being satisfied with your life. Looking at it and being like, there's really nothing that's that bad. Like, yeah, I have a few struggles with money, but
Who doesn't?
yeah, who doesn't?
Mm-hmm.
And I'd rather not be in debt, but hey, debt is a part of life, though it shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
If colleges were, free, I wouldn't be in debt right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason I'm in debt, is because of college. Because
Yep.
I wasn't born into a rich family.
Hmm.
So I couldn't have college paid for. And I didn't go to school in Louisiana, so I couldn't have, what is it, TAPS or...
Tops. Yeah, that's
Tops.
the thing. Like, people can talk shit about Louisiana all they want. That's fine. This state does suck in a lot of areas, but this state paid for my college like for 4 years. I paid like 95% of my college costs. The state did. I will always love Louisiana for that, regardless of all of its other problems. I got to give credit where credit's due. Louisiana is not that bad.
Yeah, no, like their public education system in general is kind of retarded.
Mm-hmm.
But their willingness to get somebody into college and get them through college is definitely admirable.
It is, absolutely. I agree.
Like,
That's why I'm well aware of how lucky I am. Like, I know my position is unusual that I graduated without debt, but it's because of the state.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, what about your post grad, your grad schooling? How are you?
That's all out of pocket.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Of course, it shouldn't be that expensive because you're only taking like 2 classes per
Yeah,
quarter.
it's not that. It's not as bad as an undergrad, that's for sure. Not even close.
Yeah, because you're taking 2 classes per quarter, and you're
And then
in
my
state.
Yeah, and my last quarter will just be 1 class, so it's
'cause
really not bad at all.
even Logan's paying for all his schooling out of pocket, and
Mm-hmm.
he's going full time.
That's why I got so much respect for Logan, and why I try to give him some leeway when he doesn't want to spend money for a concert or for a trip down to Dallas or whatever, because I know he pays for all of his schooling himself, and that's pretty cool,
Yeah, I can understand, but when he turns it down when you offer to pay for his ticket or something,
That's all right. Yeah, it's all right. Like I said, I understand. He's doing something a lot of people are unable to do, just because he handles money well.
Yes.
So
yes.
I gotta
he
give
may
him, again,
he may be like the most frugal bastard I have.
But that's why he's able to pay his way through college
Yes.
entirely by himself without help.
Yeah, that is
Yeah, that's why
the
I'm saying,
redeeming
like,
quality that is getting him through college. Is
Yep.
he's such a frugal bastard, but he is paying his way through college himself.
Yep. You hear that,
And-
Logan? So I may bitch at you for not coming to shows, but I know that why.
Yeah.
And he has his priorities straight. He does. And I got respect
And
for that.
Logan's gonna listen to this and be like, "Screw you guys," because
I'm
Logan
saying
doesn't
nothing
say
but-
the F word.
I'm saying nothing but positive things, though.
Yeah. No. Well, I don't know. You
For the
did
most
agree
part.
with me on calling him a frugal bastard.
Well, he is. I think he would admit that.
Yeah.
feel like
Well,
he
he
would-
knows
he
he's
was
a
like-
frugal bastard.
But no one wants to
Except
call
when it
themselves
comes to
a
his
frugal
food.
bastard. No one wants to call themselves a frugal bastard, though.
No. I wish I was a frugal bastard. Like, I envy his frugality.
Mm-hmm. I do too. A little bit.
Because I live mildly lavishly.
Yeah.
When sometimes I shouldn't.
Well, moving on before we piss him off too much. We got like what 10 minutes left, and you have a couple more topics here.
Yeah, no.
Did you want to go into coffee?
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been drinking like coffee's always been, a big part of me. I started drinking coffee when I was like 16, something like that.
I started drinking coffee last year.
Yeah, and you like it
Literally.
black now.
Hell yeah, I like it black, dude.
Yeah,
It's just, look, here's the thing, man.
after I made fun of you so much for not drinking it like a man, and then
I don't remember that, but
someone
I
brought it up to you that you put like 1 cream and 1 sugar in your coffee, and they're like,
and it makes almost no difference.
well, why don't you just drink it black?
Yeah, like I never wanted to overload it with sugar and creamer, because then I'm thinking, well, what's the effing point? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would just get, every time I get coffee, I'd get, like you said, 1 creamer, 1 sugar, and it doesn't, there's like no taste difference. So I just started getting it black, and I'm like, I can make myself get used to this, and I did, and now I drink like a cup of black coffee every morning, no calories.
Yep.
The worst effect on your health is that it stains your teeth.
Yeah.
You know?
And
So it's like,
the
whatever.
caffeine's probably not the best for you.
I know it's not, but it's like, I don't. If here's the thing, if I was gonna overload my coffee with cream and sugar, I'll just get iced coffee.
Yeah.
Which I do sometimes.
But like if
it's hot,
if
there's
I'm
no
gonna
reason
get
for it to-
cream and sugar and all that jazz, I'm just gonna go to Starbucks and get one of those fancy drinks.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. But
Those
if you're
fancy
getting
sugary
regular-
sweet drinks.
So what did was like Larry David had a joke where he's like, he goes into Starbucks. I can't remember what he said verbatim, but he's like, yeah, I'm getting something for my wife, one of those vanilla frappe bullshit things. Just get me something with all the bullshit in it, because that's what she wants.
Yeah, I feel like that's a common thing with stand-up comics.
Well, yeah, the
Is
whole-
talking shit about Starbucks,
yeah.
because Louis C.K. does it a lot.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, if you get, yeah, I'm just saying, if your coffee's hot, like just drink it black. Like it's not that bad. It doesn't necessarily taste good, but after you drink it like 3 or 4 times, you get so used to it that it just tastes like hot water.
Yeah, it's an
It really
acquired
does.
taste. And
It just tastes like hot water to me. Slightly bitter hot water. It's
depends
that?
on the quality of coffee you're drinking.
yeah. So like
But-
McDonald's coffee and Starbucks coffee, both black, taste very different.
Yes,
They taste very different.
yes, but also
both good.
Starbucks offers different roasts.
Yeah, I just get the regular roast, the medium roast.
Yeah. By the way, if you want a super amount of caffeine, get the light roast.
That's more caffeine?
Yes.
If it's light, why? I would figure heavy roast would be heavy caffeine.
Nope. Heavy roast has the least amount of caffeine.
God, that's so damn confusing.
Why? Because the coffee
cause
beans
the-
are roasted longer.
No, I'm just thinking like how Starbucks tall is actually the shortest version. It's like,
Yeah, I don't get that shit either, but whatever. Just
man,
small.
you just gotta play their game.
I always just say small coffee.
You do say that?
Yeah.
I play the game. I say the words. I
The
feel like they
only
respect you
time
more.
I play the game is if I am going all out.
I feel like they respect you more if you say the right terms.
Because, like Starbucks employees are gonna respect you in general. That
I'm just
like
being,
half of them
you
don't
know
even
what I'm-
respect themselves.
Oh, come on, man. You know what I mean.
Mm.
You know what I mean. I wanna, if I'm gonna get Starbucks, I'm gonna get Starbucks. I'm gonna do it right.
All right, if I get Starbucks and I'm getting regular coffee, I'm gonna say I want a small coffee because that's all I really want is just a small coffee. Give me a small, light roast. Give me a small medium roast, whatever. But if I'm going all out, I get a venti iced caramel macchiato with caramel and mocha in and out.
God,
And-
see that to me
and
that
an
just
extra
sounds like a
shot.
Sunday. It just sounds like a Sunday.
It pretty much is. It is a sugar overload. But that's the
See,
reason I get it is
I can't
because
do
I
that.
want that amount of sweetness.
I can't do that, man. I can't. That amount of sweetness just shuts my body down, and I'll drink like half of it and then be like, I cannot physically finish this. I just can't.
Well,
I can't do it.
All the sweetness is at the beginning because when you make at Starbucks when you make a macchiato, the coffee goes in last. So the coffee goes in the top and drizzles down.
So you got to get through. You have to like soldier yourself
And
through.
heat rises, so you gotta wait till the coffee actually cools down for it to actually circle or stir it up yourself. But
Right, if
I
I
always
get
just
any-
end up drinking the sugar and the milk first.
Literally, the fanciest thing I've ever gotten at Starbucks is just a vanilla latte. That is literally the fanciest I've ever gotten.
Yeah.
But I started bringing, like, I've been getting Starbucks, like, almost every day for the past 3 weeks.
Really?
And
What?
yeah,
Just a black coffee?
yeah, and I bring it to work with me. And every time I'm coming to work, my boss and my coworker like make fun of me for being basic. They'll say, "Drew's basic."
Yes, you are a white girl. You're
I'm a basic white girl. That's what they told me. I'm a basic white girl. And I'm like, but look, this is black coffee. It's not, whatever you just said, frappuccino, mocha.
Yeah, it's not like you're getting a vanilla bean frappuccino or something like that.
Yeah, I'm literally just getting straight coffee, but they still make fun of me for it. And then if I come in without Starbucks for whatever reason, usually because I woke up later than I intended, didn't have time, they'll be like, "Where's your Starbucks?" I don't think it warrants being made fun of though. Everybody's addicted to coffee. It's a vice everybody shares.
I wouldn't say everybody, but everybody who drinks coffee, yes.
Yeah.
Is like addicted to coffee.
Nobody drinks coffee just once in a while.
Yeah, no. If you drink coffee, you're either a daily drinker or you are a crazy 10-cup-a-day person.
Well, it started out where I only got it on days when I would when my sleep schedule was all messed up and I only slept for like 3 or 4 hours, so I would go get coffee to make sure I was awake at work. And then it evolved to the point where regardless of how much sleep I get and regardless of if I'm wide awake or not, I'll get coffee.
Yeah, you have now what's the word I'm looking for? I guess fused coffee into your blood. So coffee has now become your lifeblood.
Blood is straight black. That's so metal. That's so metal.
Blacker than the blackest black.
Times infinity. That's why Death Clock has that song about Duncan Hill's coffee. Because coffee going through your veins is black. It's so metal.
That is the best introduction to any show ever.
That was their first episode.
That was their first episode. Was the coffee jingle.
Yeah, the Duncan Hill's Coffee hired Death Clock to write their jingle, and then so they play it like at a concert, like a whole concert, just that one 30-second song. But and like half of the audience end up committing suicide or killing each other in the song or something like that.
No, because leading up to it, number one, it's a helicopter carrying their stage, and the very first death in there is one of their chefs that gets thrown out the top and sliced up in the blades, which causes the helicopter to crash, which causes the helicopter to drop the stage slightly off where they should have, already killing half the crowd.
Yeah.
Crushing half the crowd.
I love that show, man. It's so funny.
And then when the walls fall down, that kills another quarter of the crowd. And then, in the middle of the jingle, one side is throwing boiling hot coffee into the crowd, and so it melts and kills another part of the crowd. And then the other crowd gets off good because they're having cold cream thrown on them.
Oh, so you have to know which side of the stage you want to stand on to survive.
Yeah. God, so I would say a good 80% of that crowd that showed up to see Death Clock for that jingle died.
I love how self-deprecating Death Clock is. I love how lovingly they make fun of heavy metal. You can tell it's all coming from a place of love, but they do not hold back. It's a complete. It's such a perfect self-parody. It really is. I love it so much.
Yeah, and
it takes all those ridiculous, over-the-top, death metal so evil and violent, and then let's prove it by killing half our audience.
Yeah, so on that note, we're going to end on that note.
I was about to say, we're
going to end on the Death Clock note right there. So
it's a strong note to end on, absolutely.
Yeah, so thank you guys for listening to our official second episode. This has been Bilbo and the Piano with Colton and Drew. Rock on, or what does Roxo say?
I'm Dr. Roxo, the rock and roll clown. I do cocaine.
Yep, there we are. Peace.